to call to order this meeting of the Maine Township Board. The first thing that we'll do is stand to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Hudson, could you do a roll call?
Assessor Fry. Here. Highway Commissioner Brevet. Here. Clerk Giovanni is here. Supervisor Diamond.
Here.
Trustee Jones.
Here.
Trustee Horvath. Trustee Maher. Here. Trustee Belief.
All right, thank you very much. First on our agenda is approval of the minutes of the February 29th, 2024 board meeting. May I have a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes of the February 29th, 2024 board meeting.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Supervisor Diamond.
Yes.
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Maher.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is approval of the budget hearing for the General Town Fund and General Assistance minutes of February 29th, 2024. May I have a motion to approve those minutes?
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve the budget hearing minutes for the General Town Fund and General Assistance minutes of February 29th, 2024.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? I have a roll call now.
Supervisor Diamond.
Yes.
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Maher.
Yes.
Next is approval of the General Assistance expenditures. May I have a motion to approve them?
Motion to approve payroll for paydates of March 1st, 2024 and March 15, 2024, and general assistance checks 55300 through check number 55331 in the amount of $41,172.59.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions on them? None? I would like a roll call, please.
Supervisor Diamond.
Yes?
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Maher.
Yes.
Thank you. We have a motion to approve the road district expenditures.
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve payroll for pay dates of March 1st, 2024 and March 15th, 2024, and road district checks number 23321 through check number 23361 in the amount of $206,870.80.
Second.
Any questions, comments? Roll call?
Supervisor Diamond. Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Maher.
Yes.
All right. We have a motion to approve the general town fund expenditures.
Motion to approve payroll for paydates of March 1st, 2024 and March 15, 2024, and road districts checks number 23321 through check number 23361 in the amount of $206,870.80.
Did we already do that one? Sorry.
Did I write the wrong one? I read the wrong one.
think so.
Okay, sorry.
We're doing town fund, is that right?
Right. I
I
think we just
handed
read the wrong
this to
one.
me and
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
my fault.
Yeah.
But I was like,
Well, we've got a
okay,
lot of-
never mind. Never mind. Sorry. Okay.
Strike that.
Rewind. Motion to approve payroll for paydates of March 1st, 2024 and March 15, 2024, and general town fund checks number 60878 through checks number 60939 in the amount of $316,370.48. I think I got it right that time.
Any questions or comments on that?
Nope.
All right, roll call, please.
Supervisor Diamond.
Yes?
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Maher.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. We're now at that part of our meeting, which is reserved for public participation. Do we have any requests for public participation?
There are no.
All right, okay, fine. Well, then we will move on to old business. That would be the discussion and possible vote on the Town Fund General Assistance 24-25 budget. As you may recall, this was on our agenda last month, but we passed over it to this one. Since that time, there have been some minor adjustments to the budget itself. Do I have a motion to pass that budget now?
I had a quick question before we vote, Karen, or Kurt. I know, I want to say at the February meeting, we approved the salary increases, and if we're voting on it today, is it possible to make that retroactive to the February 29th date of the meeting, or will it become effective after we vote tonight?
If I could just interject one thing,
Yeah.
would you like it retroactive March 1st? That's our fiscal year. We usually
Okay.
say, which is just.
Yeah, and I just wanted to get Kurt's opinion, that's appropriate for us to do if we vote on it, right?
Yes.
To make it retroactive to a certain date, not today.
That's a different decision from the budget, because the budget's just giving you the authority to spend that money.
I
So
see.
if the board's comfortable making it retroactive, that will be acceptable.
Okay, thanks, Rick. Okay.
I think that's what we've typically done, the retroactive to March 1st. If we haven't done it before March 1st, we do it retroactive. to
Thanks,
March
just didn't want to avoid that, miss that opportunity. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for that.
All right, so did I have a first and a second?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'll make a motion then to approve the budget hearing for general, strike that. Make a motion to approve the budget, the tentative budget. Right?
For general assistance.
Final budget, right?
That's fine.
Yeah.
So motion on the table to approve the final budget for the for the town fund and general assistance. Is that correct?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Number 2.
Second.
All right, any other questions or comments on that? Okay. All right, then I think we need a roll call.
Supervisor Diamond?
Yes?
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Maher?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. All right, let's go into new business. The first item is just here for discussion, not a vote, but it has to do with our auditing services. So you may recall, I think it was 3 years ago, we went out for a request for new auditors. We did get new auditors at the time, Lauterbach and Allen. So we're going into the third year of a 3-year contract. We can stay with Lauterbach and Allen for another, 1, 2, 3 years, whatever we decide we want to do, assuming they're willing to keep us as a client. And, or we can put out an RFP, ask for quotes again, request for proposals again for auditors. So again, but if we're going to do that, I guess we have to do it fairly soon because they tend to book up, and if you want a firm to be available to do your auditing, you have to make that decision quite a few months in advance. So I don't know if you have any thoughts about that, or if you want to just keep Lauterbach, or if you have any other thoughts about auditors.
I don't have any thoughts on it.
I haven't had any interactions with them, so I don't have a point of reference.
All right, is there any staff comment on the auditors or on the serve? Yeah, do you want to go to that or something? Okay.
I have a comment too, Karen, after Dana.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we used to use Evan Marshalls and Pease, I think some of you remember before Lauterbach, and I think at the time we felt it was a conflict of interest because Chris Scalette did some of our, still continues to do some of our bookkeeping and our financials. But I just want to let the board know just a couple differences, and then, we can discuss it, today or at a later time as well. But a couple differences is that Evans, Marshalls, and Pease did not require some of the extensive paperwork that Lauterbach is requesting. I don't know that that's necessarily bad, it's just a different way of working. Lauterbach requests us to put a lot of paperwork and scan a lot of documents into a portal and do a lot of this before they come out for their actual audit. Evans, Marshalls, and Pease did not. They really did the work themselves. I think we feel like we're kind of doing a majority of the audit. When Chris came out to do the audit, he went right into Sage, which is our accounting and payroll software. So he was able to look up a lot of the documents himself. He was able to get a lot of the paperwork himself. He brought his own scanner, so he was really doing the audit. I think we kind of feel like we're doing part of the audit ourselves, which is very, very time consuming. So again, I don't know that this is bad. It's a very time consuming process. It takes quite a, more hours. The other thing I just want to mention is that Lauterbach does ask for documentation about our payroll, our time cards, IT procedures. So they're asking for a lot more things that than what Chris asked for. So it's just a different way of doing it. So
Are they about the same price?
I believe the price is around the same. I don't think the price is that different. It's just a little more labor intensive from our staff.
And I always liked Evans.
Yeah,
Chris.
Chris.
I thought they did a great job. So, I don't, so the conflict of interest has been removed? Is
No.
that-
I would say no. And this is a concern I have. I would not want to use Evans Marshall and Peace. They are fine for doing their everyday accounting, which they do. They, and I have no criticism in terms of their everyday accounting work. But I think it is a conflict of interest for them to be basically reviewing their own numbers. An accountant should really be separate, a separate company, looking at the numbers that have been, the work that has been done by, and basically they're not in-house, but they're pretty much an in-house accounting firm. They do a lot of our work. So the same conflict of interest is there that was before. Now, if the board, however, wants to go with yet another firm, there are a number of other accounting firms. I would object to that. And I don't know that they would be any less demanding of additional documents. We don't know. They may or they may not.
Right, but if our staff is doing most of the work, it's actually more expensive because we're paying our staff to do their work and then paying them. So it's actually an additional cost. If you think about it, because we're paying our staff and we're paying them, but they're not paying our staff. So I don't know, maybe there's another way, because that doesn't seem right, that we're doing most of the work and they're here to audit it.
So for that, just for the heck of it, I reached out to some of my colleagues, some other administrators. I did hear from about 12 or 13 other townships, just to see who they use, what accounting firm. A couple of them do use Lauterbach, but some other firms they use is Whipfley, Selden Fox, Sickich, Math and Associates. So I kind of have a list. I don't know, at some point we can maybe review some of these, but I do have a list of some other firms. If we want to look into it or want to go out for RFP, we can send that to them. And these are all highly recommended. So again, but kind of like what Supervisor Nani said, I don't know that another firm would work any differently. We thought the first year when we worked with Lauterbach, maybe it was just the first year that they were asking for all of this. It really hasn't let up. We're going on into our third year. It's a little less time consuming because they have access to some of the stuff that they need, but it's still, it's taking a lot of our time every year.
No, Ed, you had something you wanted to say, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of echo the same sentiments that Dana mentioned. As my staff has mentioned that an increase in workload with the latest auditor. I did reach out to Chris from Evans Marshall and asked him a few questions and determined that he does do roughly 10 other townships. So there may be a conflict, but he's doing it for a number of townships, and in my opinion, he already has the financial documents, which makes it a lot easier for staff. But if the highway department is going to be entering into an agreement with Maine Township, I would like us to at least get 3 other quotes from auditors because, if we're going to use the same company for the next year, I don't believe that I'm going to be signing that agreement. So that's all.
Okay. So what are you saying? You're interested in getting 3 quotes that would be for both the township and the highway department? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm assuming that we would get a better deal if we did our audit together. It would be an increase in cost if we separated it.
I would imagine so.
But I think that it's worth getting other quotes and seeing what other auditing companies offer, just my opinion.
Okay. Did you want anything, did you want to say something, Jim?
I just think that it's a good accommodation to get a couple others. If we're not in a big urgent need for it, I think we should follow your advice of avoiding any conflict of interest, but I think we also should be cognizant of Dave's comments and Dana's comments to be as easy on us as possible to get them to do the work. So an alternative auditor would be good. That would be the way to go, in my opinion.
All right.
A couple options.
So would it be correct that we should direct our staff to get requests for proposals from a lot of, at least 2 other firms. Would that be correct?
Yeah, I think so. If it won't take too long, how many do you think we need, Eddie? 2 or 3?
I mean, if we can get 3 in addition to Lauterbach, that would be great. I mean, maybe we can include Evans Marshall as well, just to compare.
Yeah, okay.
Is it the same department of division of Evans Marshall piece that does the accounting and the audit, or are they separate?
It's the same guys, the same people. That's my concern. I mean, the reason it takes the most time is they're looking at their own numbers, you know, and so that's the concern I have. It's not a separate set of eyes that's doing the accounting.
I mean, if there were separate divisions of the same firm, I would feel a little more comfortable with it, but if it's the same, then I see.
Well, in any event, we can get some new requests for proposals. Probably at the next meeting, we should vote on that, because again, we want to make sure that we can get on the schedule of some other firm that we can to change. So, unless there's any further discussion on that, I think we'll move on to the next item, which is discussion and possible vote on roof consultants. Mike, would you like to step up to the microphone and tell us what this matter is about?
Okay, good evening, everyone. So as I mentioned before, our roof that is located above GA has been leaking. It is better now. We did some patchwork up there, and thankfully we have not had any issues, but still it's in need of being replaced. So I have reached out to a couple consultants. I'm recommending for Century Roof Consultants to go ahead and be the ones to help us with this project. And that would be at a base contract of $4,800 with a $300 charge per contractor for a pre-qualification, and then $90 an hour for on-site observation, and that's at a 4-hour minimum per day. And we're looking, when I reached out to them to see how long this would probably take, we're looking at probably about 5 business days on that. So I did do the math on that, and if it was at a minimum, that would go ahead and add an extra $1,800 onto this. So I would probably say that you're looking at very roughly maybe $8,000 to $12,000 probably on something like this, where the other roofing consultant was just a base contract of $12,000. So I feel the prices are comparable. Century Roof Consultants, I'd also like to add, they did do consulting on the roof above the Main Streamers, clerks, and assessors back in 2012, so they do have some familiarity with our building.
Okay. Mike, we have two estimates here. Was it possible to get any other estimates?
Not in time at the board meeting, no.
Okay, did you have some efforts to get other estimates and did any
Yes.
responses?
I sent out the responses just in the timely matter of getting it for tonight's meeting. I just did not have it. I did not get it back.
Okay, so I was doing some addition here, so $4,800 is the base contract, and then 5 days at $90 an hour for minimum of 4 hours, it's $1,800, which is $66,500 right now. And then $300 charge per contractor, but how many contractors will there be?
So I think that's a matter of preference, really. I mean, let's say we have 12 contractors in the boardroom on the day of the bidding. I don't think that we need to go ahead and read through everybody. I would say maybe the top couple bids, and I don't know if Clerk Giovannis can chime in on this. Like, I'm not sure how that works, of how many people get selected with it, really, or if it's just one person that would be getting, the pre-qualification that just gets chosen for that day.
Yeah, you wouldn't need to do all of them.
Right.
Basically, just be the one that you're wanting to move forward with, have them qualify, and as long as it checks, then you can move from there.
Right, so I think where it will get a little bit, more expensive would probably be the $90 an hour charge and not so much the pre-qualification.
Okay, because when you're talking about the contractor, you're talking about Century Roof Consultants, they're the ones that are going to be pre-checked?
No, they will be doing the pre-checks. They're going to be here on the job site, making sure that everything is going like it should be, making sure that their experience, insurance, just everything.
So it's the subcontractors that are actually being...
Right.
Okay, not the contractors, but the subcontractors that are being checked out?
Yes.
Okay. we don't have any idea how many there'll be.
No.
So I don't know if they're actually subs of these guys. These two are consultants. And
Correct.
whoever it is that wins the bid is going to be the contractor, not really, so.
Right.
Yeah,
They're
okay.
essentially acting as like the architect or engineer.
Right, they do the drawings, the layouts, just making sure that every nail and every inch of this goes where it should be done, inspection at the end of it before we go ahead and pay anything out. They do the RFP of what's needed, so they do pretty much all the grunt work of this.
So years ago, when I was on the library board, we redid the roof there, and our consultants came back and said there's 3 different ways you could do it. You could do it, this would be the cheapest way to do it, or another way to do it. So they actually gave us an alternative of different ways to do it in terms of doing the whole roof, or parts of the roof, or things like that. So they may come back with that too, I imagine.
Yeah, I would think that there would be options, or they did come out and look at the roof, and even when I've been up there, I think at this point it's probably going to be the entire roof going, but on their yes. Yeah, on their initial inspection, it did look like that was going to probably be the case.
Because there's 2 layers up there already, is that?
I think there's like 2 or 3. It's even they said, like, once they don't know until you actually start getting underneath there to really see what's in there.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Okay, so you're anywhere from 600 minimum plus the 300, which we don't know. So you said between 6,000 and 12,000?
I came in just with the hourly. I mean, they said a minimum of 4 hours per day on the job site, but I don't want to completely just underestimate it at the same time. So that's why I did bump it up a little bit to about 8,000 to 12,000.
But that's a big difference.
Yeah, from like the 66 that you're saying?
Well,
Yeah.
the 66 is without the 300, which is a mystery number.
Right.
But even that, it's still a difference of $4,000, so.
Oh, between the one contract and the next?
8,000 and 12,000.
Right. I mean, more than likely it would be at the lower end. I'm just trying to protect myself rather than going on the low spectrum and then reporting that it was even higher. But I would probably guess it will come in cheaper than the 12,000.
I don't think we have a motion yet on the table, do we? No. Okay. Do we have a motion to approve?
I just had a couple comments real quick.
What's that?
I just had a couple comments. Because they're an agent for the actual roofer, I think you want to make sure because when I first saw the price, I thought it was very reasonable.
Right.
8 to 12 for a roof is depending on how many square feet. I
Right.
thought that was reasonable.
2,800 square feet, I believe.
Yeah, it's very reasonable, and so I think we should follow Mike's instincts. However, $90 on-site observation fee, $90 an hour. What exactly is that? What are they just a safety? Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much supervising it and making sure that the materials are the right materials, making sure that we're not getting shorted for our money.
Okay.
Yes.
So
making sure-
something that an engineer, structural engineer, like Kurt said,
Right.
an architect or a structural would do. Okay. As long as we know what the actual price is going to be,
Yeah.
I think we should follow Mike's instincts on it.
All right. Well, would you like to make a motion to approve entering into a contract with Century Roofs Consultants?
So moved.
Second?
Is there any other questions or comments?
Supervisor Diamond?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Maher?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right,
Thanks,
so we'll
Mike.
send this out
Thanks,
to them,
Mike.
Mike, and bring it back to your Mike's signature, right, Mike?
I'm sorry?
You'll send this out to them? and get it-
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's move on to the next item on our agenda, which is discussion and possible vote on engaging a salary study compensation analysis. I think as we talked about last time, in our last meeting, we discussed about an interest in engaging a company to do a salary study, but we learned that it takes some time for them to do it, at least 4 months, I think we were told. Plus, sometimes they can't even start it for a few months too. So we decided if we're going to do it, we should move forward with it sooner. So that's why it's on your agenda tonight. And we have 2 potential companies that will do it. One is HR Source, and the other one is McGrath. Now, McGrath did the study 5 years ago, and they quoted us a relatively low price because I think they said, well, we already have a lot of information about your company and your positions, although we cost them a number of our positions have changed. So their quote is relatively low. I was hoping we could find some other company that could give us a possible quote, but I understand we have not gotten another one. So would either of you like to make a motion to accept the quote from either McGrath or from HR Source to do a salary study for the township?
My comment would be to table it, Karen, until we have more trustees present, only because I thought when I first read the McGrath study, it was kind of vague. There was a lot of pages that were kind of vague. And I want to say we had problems with HR Source's fees, right? In some cases, HR Source is kind of expensive. Is that right?
Maybe it's more expensive.
So maybe we want to get a little more input, get a couple more options.
And it also doesn't seem like they're very available.
They did say this, it was 4 months, I can't remember when they said
It
it.
can start until the end of summer.
End of summer, oh, that's even more. And then it would take 4 months after that,
Yeah.
probably. Well, I don't have any problem tabling it, except that we want another month go by, that's all.
I think Kelly was the one that really requested this on the agenda.
Yeah.
It's just my theory, maybe we should wait until we hear a little bit more information about it. Who knows, maybe we can find someone that's cheaper and faster in the meantime. But maybe not, maybe it's,
All right, do you want to make a motion to table?
yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay, all right. We need a second on that, don't we? Second?
Did you make one?
Yeah, I would make a motion to table the discussion until the next board meeting on engaging the salary study compensation analysis.
Second.
So,
Sorry.
for further info.
Roll call?
Supervisor Diamond?
Yes?
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Maher?
Yes.
Okay, that's tabled. All right, the next item, Jim, you asked for this one to be put on the agenda, discussion of the usage of the Maine Township attic. Tell us what you had in mind.
Yeah, thank you for putting this on the agenda. Robert Carosa took me on a tour, and I didn't realize we have a very large attic, which is really cool looking, and it's filled with boxes, some of which are dated from 1995. So I think we're really good at keeping old records, and I think we may want to figure out just a way to use some of that space that we have in the attic. It's not only kind of spacious up there, it's clean, it's well organized, and just a lot of paper up there. Boxes and boxes of old paper, 1995 timesheets. I think it was nice noticed up there. I took a couple other pictures, so maybe just an interesting idea to think of other ways we could use that space to benefit the township, to benefit any of our other departments. I was surprised at how big it was, and I've never seen the attic. And it's very cool looking. It's got the original woodworking up there. Maybe we can use it for some other purpose. So that's the only reason I put it on the agenda.
We do have to correspond with the Public Records Act in terms of maintaining documents for a certain period of time. Now, we may be maintaining some longer than we need to. That does sound like it goes back awfully far. But it's something our staff will periodically go through and see if we can get rid of some of those things. Actually, getting rid of some of those boxes has been a trouble, just because usually the shred first comes in and they fill up their truck and they haven't even taken all of our stuff. Sometimes that happens, but not always. So, that's something we can focus on and see whether or not we are getting rid of stuff that we need to.
Can we scan them and archive them?
You mean, would that comply with the Public Records Act?
Yeah.
I think I looked into that once, but I can't remember the answer to that.
I think it does.
You can.
You just have to get approval from the archivist.
Oh, to scan them.
Yeah.
We do that with
Because
the
anytime
state.
we're going to destroy them, we still have to get the
Yeah.
certificate before we destroy them.
What records are we required to keep? If any?
There's a whole schedule that will have some of the archivist that lists it out.
I see. So there's quite a few records we have to keep.
Well, yeah, we have to keep for a certain period of time.
Yeah.
If there's like different years, you have to keep different types of documents.
Yeah.
Maybe it's too much work, but there's a lot of room up there. I thought like we could use it for some of our services or something like that.
Just letting you know there's no air conditioning up there, so
Oh.
it's summer, it's sweltering, so,
Okay.
yeah.
I was up there, I had a good time.
And the heat, yeah, isn't great either.
Heat is all right, but it's not great.
Oh, all right. That's why we don't use it there. Okay.
It's where the Christmas ornaments go during the summertime too.
It's nice and clean up there, though. Whoever's doing a good job.
Turned it into a sauna.
Yeah. Got parties up there. Board meetings.
All right, the next item is also something you asked Jim, discussion and attendance for the neighborhood watch meeting.
Yes, thank you, Karen. I attended the neighborhood watch meeting. There were only 4 people. And Penny, as mentioned before, the police officer who basically runs the show, poor attendance. So we're hoping to figure out ways where we can improve the attendance. Kim's probably got the best expertise on this. She's, been a lot more than I have. And in the past, they were more popular, I guess.
Yeah.
So we got to think of ways to spread the word. Otherwise, that probably will be canceled, I'm thinking. They won't continue to send a fire department official and a police official.
Did they
to these-
say that?
Well, that's the implication I got. She brought it up a couple times.
Yeah,
So they didn't say
she
that.
brought it to me too, in the past. She hasn't said that. She wasn't going to send it, but she's,
That's the implication I got.
I don't know what else we can do. I mean, we put it in the newsletter, it's in, it's on the marquee, it's in the agenda. I announce it every month. You guys put it in the digital newsletter.
When I was doing it, I had raffles.
Huh?
I had raffles for attendance.
What did you give out?
We gave out raffle tickets.
We used to have,
That was a draw.
we used to have a lot of attendance. The people who used to come that we were
Also, Karen, 2 of the individuals that spoke wanted a census. They wanted the numbers of the population in Maine Township, which, of course, I didn't off the top of my head. I couldn't answer that question, so.
Are they talking about the entire township or just the unincorporated area?
Correct. The population of Maine Township, probably.
The total?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. I think we can get that online. I don't know what it is. I mean, I can estimate what it is, but I don't know for sure.
Okay. And the last thing they mentioned at the meeting was illegal U-turns at Golf and Reading, and an update on the fire at the landings. They were asking some of the people that's in there. Thought I'd report that. Some of the people who are regulars at the neighborhood watch meeting.
if anybody has any ideas, I would love to hear. 'Cause we tried to get to boost attendance. I don't know what else we can do.
I don't know, what was there, in the past, was there perhaps some issue that brought people out, perhaps crime or
Right.
some other
Correct.
problem in the past that maybe doesn't concern them as much anymore?
I think that the neighborhood's changed.
It's a good
Well, they
question.
used to come just.
Well, it started some years back when there was an incident, Maine East student got killed,
Yeah.
and that brought out a lot of
Yeah.
people. And it was pretty filled downstairs, but then, kind of doing this.
Right, we used to have on the stairs, and we would have quite a few people.
We may want to reach out to the city of Chicago, the CAPS program. I want to say statistics show that neighborhoods that are more actively involved have a little lesser crime. So maybe that's an item to add. Citizens alternative
You
police
want to do
strategy.
that? You want to contact them, Jim?
Sure.
See?
We try to find out if someone maybe can come to one of the meetings and speak about that.
Yeah.
I think people are interested politically about crime, right? That seems to be a national issue, public safety. Every politician is talking about it, so why the meetings are not so well attended, I don't know. It's interesting.
Crime-free, or crime-free, we're crime-free.
Yeah, right, we do such a good job here. Right, that's it.
All right.
He's gonna sign it.
The last is discussion and circulation of supervisors' annual financial reports. So we have all these reports here. I think we've signed all of them. And we'll pass them down to our clerk when we're done here. Anyone want to make any comments or discuss them or have anything to say about them?
Oh, I think car racing down the street. There's a car racing down the street. I think.
The drag racing.
Where the furnace turning on.
Or is that, yeah. And the next one.
I don't know. Well, we'll see.
He does the
All right, we're down to that section of our agenda, which is official reports. I'm just going to start off with one report, and then I'm going to turn to you, Susan. Our staff has received a letter from Blue Cross Blue Shield. Those of you who get the insurance may also have received it. For many years now, we've been under a grandfather plan through Blue Cross Blue Shield. And Blue Cross Blue Shield is not going to be offering a grandfather plan anymore. They have not told us any reason why, but they simply said it's not going to be available anymore. They will offer a different plan, and I'm not sure exactly how similar it's going to be yet. Catherine Sparrow will be coming to talk to us next month, I believe, and she'll have some updated information then. But one other thing that is going to be different under this year is Blue Cross Blue Shield, if they're chosen as the health insurance going forward for the next year, they will continue to cover trustees if trustees want to be covered. But if their competitor, which I think is UHC, is chosen as the insurance provider for the coming year, they do not cover trustees. So that would be a difference.
Blue Cross does not cover everything.
No, they won't.
They would. The other
Company.
company that we received a quote from, we are told would not. Okay, so having said that, Susan, did you want to start with anything?
Sure. I did find something in the journal, and I was inquisitive about it. Talking to our highway commissioner, there was money that was in a grant for Maine Township, and I think it's going to the highway.
Oh,
I think that's what it is.
I believe so. It still has to be released. But it's supposed
But
to
it
be.
just said Maine Township, it didn't say highway, but
what was that for?
It's just a grant that was approved by Senator Murphy and Governor Pritzker, so it would go towards a drainage improvement project in the area. So
All right.
hopefully we get it released soon.
Is it, we often hear words grants versus appropriation. Is this, do you know what this is characterized
This
as?
is an appropriation. Correct.
All right. Okay, all right.
but that's not what they're calling it, right?
So maybe somebody else has a $100,000 grant too.
Spending awards, well, I guess that's an appropriation as opposed to a grant. No, it's grant. Below are the 2025 grant awards.
I think sometimes they use them interchangeably.
I think you're right. I think you're right. So,
Okay, and then I just wanted to call attention, I gave you a summary of taxpayer services. And what it is, it's a history of the assessor's office status. And if you'll see in 2023, the increase over the prior year in phone calls, we had a 17% increase. In taxpayer visits, we've had 57% increase over last year. And certificate of error is 11% increase, and permits 43% increase. So my staff is continually, just constantly busy, going from one thing to another. So I think that they would appreciate an increase in their salary. So that would be a very good reason why. So that, and we get cards out from the assessor's office. Now, we've been doing the senior freeze applications, but now the disabled veterans are out, so we'll have an influx of those. And we do have a lot that come in. That's all.
all right, and we had a written compliment from Pat Kelly for your staff too, that came in. So that was very nice also to receive.
Yes, I just saw something now I overlooked from Pat Kelly.
Okay.
It was very nice. I'll share with staff. It was very nice.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ed?
So we've been kind of spoiled with the weather in February. We've been really busy getting stuff done. It's kind of nice for a change to have good weather in February. We've also been in contact with Congressman Quigley's office in an attempt to try to get a grant, federal grant through him. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to make it happen this year or if we qualify. We're still working on a couple things. But we did recently submit to the Investing Cook grant. We got about 5 or 6 letters of support from local leaders for the project. So I'm very hopeful that the superintendent of Cook County Transportation will review our documents and hopefully go in our favor, because that money would go a long way to putting in a bike lane on Church and also completing the sidewalk along Church to Greenwood, and also north from Church to Kathy Lane. So just south of Kathy Lane. So good things. Hopefully we get approval and be a big area improvement. So.
And I very much hope that you get that money. As I told you before, I really would like to see more bike lanes and sidewalks in Maine Township, just to make it, especially in the unincorporated area, to make it more friendly to cyclists and pedestrians. So good luck with that. Thank you for putting in for that.
There's a lot of being able to connect from, I think there's 6 jurisdictions. From Greenwood, we have IDOT, the Village of Niles, through unincorporated Maine Township, the city of Park Ridge, all the way down to Cook County at Potter, and then people would be able to connect to the Des Plaines River Trail. So that would be good.
That's terrific. Yeah, that's great.
Can I mention one more thing too, please? Happy birthday to our 2 trustees next week. Both 2 birthdays, so happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Pete?
I just came here for my mom's birthday celebration. Her birthday was today, 85. So, we're in the process of finalizing details for the annual town meeting, my staff and myself. I reached out to Asif to see if he had anybody from the Indian or Pakistani community that would like to serve as moderator this year. Felt it might be nice to, give them a little bit of a spotlight and a turn at moderators, since we've had a number of local elected officials. So he suggested a local leader in the community, Andrew Quadros. I did speak with him, and he has agreed to be our moderator, so he'll be here that night. And then, of course, our esteemed trustee Maher will serve as parliamentarian again this year.
Thank you, sir.
So we're coming along. Everything should be set to go. And then once we get through that, we'll start with planning for National Night Out, which will be here before we know it. The first meeting will probably be end of May for that. I'll send out an email to everybody keeping them abreast of those meetings. That's it.
Great. I'm going to throw in one more announcement here, and that is, you may have seen one attachment, one piece of paper at your place. It's a letter that I wrote to Pace after we had a meeting with Steve Andrews and Beth Gonzalez from Pace, and we're going to work on 2 things. Transportation, again, is something I want to work on, public transportation, trying to get one of their buses here. But another thing I've asked them to do is modify the route of the Niles Free Bus to make it come into our parking lot, which they wouldn't have to do much outside of its original route, its current route, to do that. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know. We'll see.
That's a good idea.
All right. Let's see. Moving on, Kim.
Okay, I don't have a lot to report. I want to thank Trustee Maher for chairing the neighborhood watch meeting last month. So thank you for this month, I should say.
Pleasure, yeah.
And announce that we are having a neighborhood watch meeting next Wednesday at 7 p.m. So hopefully the residents will attend. Also, when I came here today, I received this certificate of appreciation from Empowering Women. They had an event on March 3rd, which I was unable to attend, but I appreciate I appreciate the recognition. They're a great organization, and they do a lot of good work empowering women. So that is, oh, and I want to wish everybody a happy holiday season, Ramadan and Easter, and Passover.
Happy Holy too.
And happy what?
Happy Holy too.
And happy Holy, all of them. I don't want to leave anybody out.
Okay, all right. Jim?
Yes, I wanted to mention that I noticed on the materials that Marie had an event recently, a Blackhawk game for the mainstreamers.
Yes.
I thought that was an outstanding event, and I wanted to mention that the Chicago White Sox, I just got my tickets, and they have these two events that probably would be very good. One's I think June 29th and one's July 13th. They're day games on a Saturday, which is unique, kind of unusual. The White Sox usually Saturday games are at night. So the folks in the township might enjoy a day game on a Saturday, especially if they don't have to worry about parking, they don't have to worry about getting to and from the ballpark. They have a vehicle, they'll let you park in the parking lot, they'll let you tailgate, and those are both gift days. And my experience is the White Sox give nice gifts. So anybody that goes to that game and gets there about maybe an hour before the game starts or a half an hour, will get a free gift. And the gifts that the White Sox give out are nice. I've known a couple of them in the last couple of years, so I gave Marie the dates, so for your use.
You want to go to a day game, go to Wrigley Field.
What about night?
I'm speechless with that, so I can't comment.
Anything else?
No, and happy Easter to everyone and happy holidays, all holidays.
Okay.
So, happy holidays.
And I have one more announcement to make. This is in capacity of supervisor of general assistance. As you may recall, our general assistance fund was really very low when we first came into office, but it's been built up as a result of subsequent levies. And it really has a healthy balance now due to the levies and also due to the fact we had a reduced number of individuals qualifying for general assistance of late too. So I come to the conclusion that, and I made sure there was enough in the budget to raise the rental subsidy for the people who receive rental assistance. There's not too many of them now, but those people, the last time they got a raise was in 2017. It's been 7 years. The amount that they had been receiving in 2017 was $350. Applying in the inflation rate, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, $350 in 2017 is now worth $444. So raise their rental assistance to $450 for the people who qualify. Not necessarily everyone will qualify, but I think there will be at least 10 people that will qualify. Does that sound about right? Okay.
Nice.
All right. Okay. So I just wanted to make that in the minutes. I'm sure our staff is taking note of that. That is the only other announcement I had. Unless there's anything else, I think we are done with the exception of a closed session. So, and also I did want to mention before everyone leaves that there are a number of upcoming events. Neighborhood Watch meeting, as was mentioned. The annual meeting on April 9th. And so we'll be back here not too long on April 9th. And honoring some of our staff members who have been here for quite a few years. Toy Lobby Day, I'm not sure if anyone is going to Toy Lobby Day this year, but that's on the 17th if you're of interest. We do have a catalytic converter etching event on April 25th. The sheriff is helping us with this. What they're going to be doing is etching catalytic converters and painting them red so as to hopefully deter thieves who would steal your catalytic converter. Sadly, just this past weekend, my daughter's catalytic converter was stolen.
Wow.
So this is still going on, unfortunately. And if you do want to sign up for, they're taking a limited number of people for that catalytic converter etching event. Contact Jenny, and she'll make sure you get signed up for that. Okay. Electronics recycling event is coming up in May. Park Range Parade in May. Is everyone, well, not everyone's here, but are most of you planning on marching? I think so.
In May,
Yeah, it's Memorial Day weekend.
if I'm here, I'll march, but I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Then dumpster days, paper shredding, and then of course on July 4th we have the Niles and Des Plaines Parade. change back to back. All right, so you might want to hang on to that or just make a note of those dates. So for right now, that's for a motion to go into closed session for the purpose of discussing one, litigation which is probable or imminent, two, security procedures and use of personnel or equipment to respond to an actual or threatened or reasonably potential danger to the safety of employees, students, staff, and public property. And three, discussing the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees. May I have a motion to go into closed session for those reasons?
Motion to go to closed session as stated for those purposes.
Second.
All right. May I have a roll call?
Supervisor Diamond?
Yes?
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Maher?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. I don't anticipate that we will take any public action after this meeting. So you're welcome to stay around, but I think that's probably it for the public part around the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor, roll call.
Supervisor Diamond?
Yes?
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Maher?
Yes.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.